Kalai,
Yes.
thanks for coming in again today.
Always.
Man, it's always such a pleasure to hang out with you, and I consider you a friend of the show. So,
Okay.
um, you
You're my
have
brother.
well, I appreciate that. So last time you were in, we gave everybody a breakdown of your history and what things you're involved in and that kind of thing.
Why I'm a humanist.
Yeah,
That's what we did last time. Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Why you're a humanist. So since then, I've spoken to a few people and told them that I'm part of the Humanist Association, Middle Tennessee, and you can almost see on some people's face that what is that? What does that mean? What does it mean
Mm,
to be a humanist? So I thought today we would come in and really go through it well and go through the 10 commitments of
that's right.
humanism and that kind of thing, and just take away the mystery and lay it all right out there and tell people what it is, what it isn't, and so that way people have a good idea.
Sure. So I'll preface with this. So when I travel through Alabama, you'll hear preacher men saying, "Stay away from the humanist."
What?
Yeah. We have the bad people because we put the trust in humans,
Ah,
not on God.
okay.
So that kind of has a little.
That doesn't sit well with them.
Yeah. So when I've lost friends when I've said I'm a humanist.
Is that because they have a misconception? I feel like it has to
I
be,
think so. I think so because when I think Jesus was a humanist,
right?
right? People who loved genuinely from the bottom of their heart,
Yeah.
with or without a doctrine, right? We are trained to think with a doctrine, but with or without the doctrine, because I think even came up last time that even if I took all your books away, all your doctrines, you'll still mind me.
Right.
You'll still, we'll still be brothers and friends with each other.
Right.
So that is humanism. In a nutshell, that's basically what it is. So the biggest question people ask me is then, what do you believe then? Are you an atheist?
Hmm.
So the atheist piece is the easy one to answer. I think Ricky Gervais puts it simple. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to waste time spending energy on whether Santa Claus exists or not.
Mhm.
It's irrelevant. You can believe Santa Claus all you want. It just doesn't change the fact that how I treat you.
Right.
So then step back. So regardless of that's where the atheist humanist kind of divide comes in. They make a stand on, okay, I don't believe in this. Humanists, on the other hand, they have lots of beliefs, right? Like the 10 commitments we talked about. We
Let,
believe in empathy.
let's read through them just briefly, just the headings.
Yeah. So we believe in empathy. Like you get to spend some time, watch. In fact, some of my favorite stories. Did you look at the other person's eyes?
Mm.
Right? To have empathy. It's not just, oh, I'm going to feel for you. Like, no. In fact, Jared talked about this very much. When you go to the depth of suffering, you can empathize anybody else in that place a little bit easier because you've been there.
Hmm.
So empathy is a big deal. Like that's why you want to do a lot of things, like pay attention, look in the eyes.
Right.
Right? There is critical thinking.
Okay.
It's easy enough. Like I teach statistics, so critical thinking is when somebody makes a claim in TikTok, right, or YouTube Shorts. Is it true?
Right.
Can it be true? Can it be assessed? Just because you're the example I give is like my wife's an optometrist, right?
Mhm.
If she comes home saying, "Oh, everybody had an eye problem today," I bust into laughter.
Right.
You're going to have only people with eye problem. So when
Yeah.
COVID came along, a lot of people came, physicians in the emergency room, making claims. I'm like, you're going to have those people in your emergency room.
Right.
Chill.
Right. Well, the thing is with critical thinking, especially today, with things being so divisive,
Mm,
there's so many claims being tossed around about a variety of things, be they political or just social things. Everything is so divisive these days, and there's a lot of misinformation out there. So
Through that,
when things come in, it's very important to look at it and say, "Is this accurate information? Let me go find and see
do
how
some.
I
So
can."
in class, I get the kids to pick up the phone
Mhm.
and say, search it now.
Yeah.
Don't wait for it. Don't go out there saying that's what the little brown man, Professor Dude said.
Hmm.
Do it now.
Right.
Look at it like so it is your information.
Yeah. If you think I'm wrong, or if you think I could be
Oh,
wrong,
I want to be, right?
let's
Fix me, update.
exactly educate me.
Yep. There's this thing, ethical development.
Okay.
Ethics and the other place with the responsibility, the idea of morality kicks in, right? Like what is morality? Um, it is situational ethics, like for the moment. And then the question becomes what is right, what is wrong? How do you decide that? If you don't know, if you don't have a book to tell you what is right and what is wrong.
Yeah.
The idea behind it is like, look, listen, pay attention, be empathetic.
Right.
What is the situation? There is no, to some extent, right or wrong decision. It is only the best decision.
Yeah. The sentence that follows this, it says ethical development. I will always focus on becoming a better person.
That's it.
I don't see a problem with that either. I want to be a better me
That's right.
a year from now than I am today. I want to be a better me 5 years from now than I am then.
I also think everybody believes that. They want to get better. I think every human by nature is progressive at some level. We want to do better.
Right. Right.
How much energy you put in it, that's a different question. It's
Yeah.
easy to be lazy.
Exactly.
It
Yeah.
is easy to be lazy.
So far,
Mhm.
empathy, critical thinking, ethical development.
Mhm.
I'm for all of these things.
Right.
What's next?
So peace and social justice.
Hmm.
That's a challenging one, right?
This is where people are going to say that. Okay, let's explore
right?
this.
So
one.
is peace the only option?
Yeah, I generally prefer peace to conflict.
Right. And then, Gandhi talked about how do you still instill peace, the nonviolence movement, right? So there is a way to think about peace. There is a way to bring about peace. There is, even the diversity, tolerance, the word tolerance, like don't put up with me.
Mm.
Get to know me,
Right.
right?
Right.
Just do not tolerate me. That it hurts.
Right. I think you've heard it. I've heard you say it before. We're going to dance.
That's right.
I'm going to step on your toes.
Yes, promise.
Tell me right then,
That's right.
because that's how we get better at the dance.
That's right. And immediately so, because that is not what I want.
Exactly.
So one of my introduction is I'm racist, I'm sexist, I'm lookist, I'm smellist, I'm carist, I'm a beltist, I'm a Starbucks drinkingist.
Right.
Name it. If society, hair color is, hair texture is, weight is, height is, if society has it, I have it.
Sure.
I know I must have it.
Right.
So now that I'm owning up to it, when I slip, catch me.
Yeah.
Be gentle. Tell me because I don't want it.
Right. So the explanation under this one, peace and social justice. I will help people solve problems and handle disagreements in ways that are fair for everyone.
The best you can.
That seems non-controversial.
Non-controversial. The best you can.
That's something to strive for. I'm going to help people solve problems in ways that are fair for people. Fantastic.
So I've sent money to judges when I believe they are willing to wrestle with the idea, not decide. Like, okay, this is right, this is wrong. No, listen to both sides. I think society likes movies like Joker, right? Because they wrestle and they fall in the wrestle and they turn to quote unquote dark side. Darth Vader wrestled and he,
Yeah.
So I think that wrestle, I bring it up. Was it Cain and Abel? Somebody wrestled in the Bible, wrestled with God. That wrestling, like doing your best in that sense, it's a big piece. So a lot of humanists, you will find people in the social and peace justice, like National Peace and Justice Center. They all don't spend time being a humanist.
Right.
But they are very much committed to this and they promote all sorts of religious beliefs. It just doesn't matter to them.
Right.
To promote peace and justice.
And I think in any group, you can find extremists.
Yes. Absolutely.
So when we say peace and social justice, one of the places that people's minds is going to go is to the social justice warrior. To the person that's on the extreme, the front line. They want to lash out at every possible offense. They want to stand up for every possible person that they can find that may be oppressed. They want to, I don't know that exactly is what this is.
I'm with you. I'm with you. There's a normal curve in every mindset.
Right. I like the description here. I'll help people solve problems and handle disagreements in ways that are fair for everyone. That seems nice.
Well, this is put out by
I like that.
AHA.
Sure.
American Humanist Association. Yep.
Sure. I mean, but this is established as the 10 commitments.
That's right.
These are the core 10.
Yep.
This forms the basis,
That's right.
and then everything else is kind of an outgrowth from there. How these things manifest.
Or develop your
themselves.
own.
Sure.
I have pushed people, use this, take a look at it, see where you resonate the most, but develop your own doctrine, so to speak. Like what's true for you. Give that permission, like our Constitution. Give yourself permission to evolve in it, the progressive piece.
All right. When we get done with I want to touch base.
Okay.
Back on that. So,
okay.
So the next one, service and participation. I'll help my community in ways that let me get to know the people that I'm helping.
Else you're in a bubble.
Yeah.
You must participate. You must serve. It might be a dog. It might be your neighbor down the street whom you take the mail in or newspaper in.
Right.
And if we don't come out of our own life, in fact, around loneliness, they say walk your dog. Just being around another human being does something to us.
Right.
So I think service, the ultimate punishment in every society is
being by yourself.
That's right, isolation.
Isolation.
Right?
Okay.
No human contact.
Right.
So here it is just the opposite. It is, I think, for lack of terminology, it's a blessing.
Yeah, get out there and be involved.
Be involved.
And help where you can. It could be mowing somebody's grass. It could be taking trash. It could be picking up trash on the side of the
That's right.
highway.
That's right.
It could be serving meals at the shelter. It could be
anything,
a
intentional
variety.
kindness.
Okay.
To be intentful about being kind.
Yeah. So the next one on the list, altruism. I will help others in need without hoping for rewards. Altruism, just helping.
So it fits into intentional kindness. I think another way about, philosophers will argue there is no true altruism, but something about when you serve and you intentionally kind.
Mm-hmm.
I think our juice, our brain had its own dopamine rush.
Yes.
Because we smile different when we do it.
I have often noticed when I'm having a bad day, when I'm kind of feeling down in the dumps, when I feel a little bit depressed, one of the main things that helps me to snap out of that is just doing something for somebody.
That's right.
Helping somebody, and not because I need anything, because I have the ability to help, and there's a need somewhere.
Yeah.
One of the favorite, we got a big snow a few years back, and Patricia's birthday is in January, and we had a 4-wheel drive vehicle that would go anywhere, no problem. Snow's not a problem, So we put out on Facebook, like, hey, if anybody can't get to the pharmacy for your prescriptions, if somebody can't get to the grocery store, if you need to let us know. We're happy to come. We're not snowed in, And throughout the day, you would have people put on there, hey man, I need to get to the grocery store. My mom needs, her medications. So all day long we spent running little errands for people. And Patricia, to this day, will say that's the best birthday that I've ever had. That's my favorite birthday to look back on, when we just spent the day helping. We met some great people, had some great stories. One lady looked at her profile on Facebook, and who is this person coming to my house? So she said, today is her birthday, right? So when we got
she noticed
when we got to the house with the groceries. And she said, yeah, we can't get out. We're not starving or anything here. We're not. But man, it sure would be nice to have some chili today. And I just don't have the stuff at the house to make chili. We were already at Publix getting some stuff. And so we said, yeah, well, we're already at the store. What do you need? She said, I need a couple of tomatoes and this. And no problem. We'll grab them right now. We're headed your way. So we got over there, and they had noticed.
Total stranger.
Oh, yeah, we never met her, So we got over there, and they had noticed that it was Patricia's birthday, and they had a little girl, and the little girl had taken construction paper and
I'm going to cry.
Made her a birthday card. And so when we got to the door, she said, it's your birthday? You're out doing this? He said, yeah, we're having a great time. The little girl had made her a birthday card. Patricia still has it.
I bet.
And that was 8 years ago, 8 years ago.
Something incredibly powerful happens when we
it's amazing the feeling that you get when you just help somebody.
Yeah.
And you don't need anything
don't
from
want
it.
anything back, not even a blessing.
No, that benefits you.
It's powerful beyond measure. I think it is also innate.
Yeah.
I think we're born with it.
It's in us to want to cooperate and be a part of something and help out where we can.
That's right. And if people who say, oh, how do you know that it's innate? I say, go to a playground.
Okay.
That's what you'll see. Kids helping each other, may not even be ready to speak.
Right.
helping each other. They want to learn together, and it'll fit into the other one. They want to learn together, and then they want to teach it. I think it's innate, just like our language. And
Right.
so stories like that. Oh, I need to put that in the book. Intentional kindness. That stories I'm collecting. That how powerful it is,
Oh, that's nice. Well, yeah.
and give others permission to do the same.
Sometimes all they need is an idea.
That's right. That's right. When they hear stories like chicken soup for the soul kind of thing,
Yeah.
like do it. It could be your dog,
Right. Right.
right? Could be a neighbor's dog.
Yep. It's just like people that when that trend started going around of paying for the person behind you at the drive, and it caught on. More people wanted to do that. It made them feel good because they knew they were doing something for somebody behind them.
That's right.
So it's just a quick, and that's a little bit of a dopamine rush. It does you good to help somebody.
That's right.
So,
That's right.
So altruism is fantastic. All right. So what's next on our list?
This humility is powerful.
Humility.
Because when you go into humanism and you become intentional about your kindness and your thinking becomes clearer, you reach out to more people, something weird happens to us. I'm like, this is pretty good.
Yeah.
And somewhere in there, for me, humility means you got to know your powers first.
And your weaknesses.
Right?
Yeah.
And you are aware of both. Like a poor man driving a beat up car is not being humble.
Right.
You got to be rich. Then you drive a beat up car, then you're being humble.
Right.
So you have to have it. Now, the moment you have it, you have to give it. And then you also, like you said, you also not complete. There are weaknesses, but to mind it.
Yeah.
So humility is also just like intentional kindness. It is intentional. I do weird things for humility. They're just odd.
Okay.
So I curse in class from time to time. So they don't put me up on a pedestal.
Right.
The other thing I do is when the students really like me, I'll get them to record what they feel about me. And then I tell them, this is actually you. You were able to see it in me because it was already in you. It's not me.
So they're saying nice things about you, and then you say, no, that's you.
Right.
What you're seeing in me is a reflection of you.
That's right. That's
Okay.
right. So to keep me humble.
Yeah.
Because it is easy not to be humble.
The way that this one strikes me, humility, I'll be aware of my strengths and weaknesses and appreciate the strengths and weaknesses of others. I used to not want to identify any of my weaknesses. And when I got over that, it's been a real delight, honestly. Patricia would come up to me and say, "You don't remember when I told you that?" And I would say, "You never told me that. I would remember that. I mean, that's important information. I would remember you telling me that." She'd say, "I promise you, I have already been over this. I've told you that. You just forgot." And one day, I finally decided maybe I'm forgetting a couple of things. That's okay,
Oh,
And
wow.
so now we laugh about it because she'll come to me and she'll say, "Don't you remember me telling you?" And I go, "No." She'll go, I did tell you." And now I'm able to say, you can probably remember where we were, what we were wearing, exactly the situation and how you told me and
Right.
everything, right? And she said, "Yeah, I remember all those things. It was last Tuesday. We were sitting right over there. You had on the red shirt. I had on
Oh my
you
God.
don't remember that whole conversation?" And I go, "No, not a bit. Just completely. I was thinking about something else. I was focused on it. Maybe I was daydreaming. I don't know, but I have no memory of it." And now we're able to laugh about it,
Right. Right.
because I'm just aware of, okay, sometimes I forget a few things.
Like the dance, right? I promise I'll step on you.
Right.
And I know I'm going to make the mistake.
Yeah. Yeah.
And catch me when I do. And be gentle, please.
Right. You can tell me 6 things that you're sensitive about. 1 or 2 of them hopefully will at least stick, but I might forget number 4 or 5 that is a
You will
sensitive topic
forget.
for you.
It's impossible to remember.
But when I do that, just let me know.
That's right.
And I will meet you there. And I apologize for, we'll have that moment, and
So
I'll
the
appreciate
trusting
you.
our connection better than anything else. So humility is practice. It is a habit. Brilliance is a habit. I mean, Socrates talks about brilliance is but a habit.
Yeah.
So we have to practice it. And when we participate, when we get into other people's life, intentional kindness, they all help with humility.
Oh, definitely.
That maybe you're wrong.
Yeah.
Then it gives us this permission to I want to hear where you're coming from.
Right.
So Yep. There's a little piece when I'm around people with very strong political belief.
Mm-hmm.
I will like tell me where you're coming from. I want to know you.
Mm.
And that comes from like, I want you to get to know me,
Mm-hmm.
not all my chatter, right?
Right.
Where's your heart beating?
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
okay.
So
Yep.
let's be humble, humility.
Yes.
All right. So the next one, environmentalism.
Sustainable development. That's
Be
really what it is. Even our economic, our capitalism we have assumes there's no end.
right.
Our population is shrinking. There is an end. There is an end to limit, our planet and our. If you're going to build a little factory, if you're going to collect the water from the lake, we have to think about sustainable development now.
Right. I mean, there's a lot of us. I mean, there's nearly what 8 billion
About 8
people
billion, yeah.
on the planet now, and we're having babies. So I mean,
It's going away fast.
the population.
Population is shrinking. It's beginning to shrink. It is becoming almost a global worry.
You'll have to show me the data on that.
Yes. So you have to have 2.1 births to sustain population. So when population shrink less than that, they will shrink over time.
Okay.
It has happened in a bunch of countries. Most developed countries have it. Some Asian countries have it. South Korea is in a lot of trouble, and nothing they're doing is to getting them to help have babies. The only place that is still have a parity for birth is Africa. So there's a phrase called the browning of the planet.
Yeah.
It's crazy. The population is not. There is no population, but there is a worry who is going to do certain things
Yeah.
to keep the current economic structure, GDP, whatever that we use to calculate our wealth.
Well, this aspect of humanism, the environmentalism is just like the sentence underneath it. I will take care of the earth and the life on it. In other words, this is this is the house that we've got.
That's right.
Let's take
Or
care
fish
of it.
tank.
Yeah, this is what we've got. So let's not screw it up if we can help it.
Right,
So,
right. I like fish tank
okay,
because you cannot get out. Not yet. We've like slipped out a little bit and come back.
sure.
This is it. You mess that water up, it's going to kill you.
Right.
Yep. So yep.
All right. So the next, global awareness. I will be a good neighbor to the people who share the earth with me and help make the world a better place for everyone. I think that's pretty self-explanatory, and I can get on board with that.
Right. And not just stay as the world shrinks, not just, oh, this is American or this is how we do things. When you get to know, I've traveled a little bit, gotten to know a bunch of people, I have found there is no difference. Our suffering is the same. We hurt the same.
Right.
We cry over the same things. We fall in love the same way.
Right. Everyone wants to be celebrated at
Right.
times.
And want to do a little bit better than what they've been given.
Everybody wants connection. Everybody.
Absolutely.
I think the best thing for expanding somebody's worldview literally is travel. Go see some places. Go see some. And I need to travel more. I've only been outside of the United States a couple of times, and not far. But I've got friends who have traveled extensively, and so yeah, even for me, I need to travel more. I think it does somebody good to see the rest of the world and see that not everybody's just like my little hometown.
That's right.
And they have their culture and
helps
things
with
they value.
humility.
Exactly.
To say, oh, there are other ways of being.
You know, something that comes to mind with this global awareness, I think it's funny sometimes when people look and say, look at all this traffic that I'm in, right? It's like, no, you're traffic. You are traffic, okay?
Never thought of it. I am part of this traffic.
We are all in each other's way. It's fine, but
that is what traffic is. You're all in each other's way.
Right. So, okay, global awareness. Next is responsibility. I'll be a good person even when no one is looking and own the consequences of my actions.
I'll take it one more step deeper, right? Responsibility, you can talk about duty. Duty to each other, duty to spouse, duty to child, duty to the earth.
Yeah.
Duty to... That's my phone. I'm so sorry.
Oh, no worries.
You can turn it off.
But responsibility, own it.
Right.
Essentially.
duty, I mean, the moment you become aware of it, then you have a duty to it.
Yeah.
And think about and ponder duty.
Right.
What is your responsibility? What is your duty to it? Like duty to earth, duty to spouse, duty to every relationship, we get to think about duty to country in an easier way.
Right.
But duty to humanity, duty to the dog.
Right. Well, and this kind of ties in with humility.
That's right.
I was telling somebody not long ago, all of my problems are most of my problems are my fault, right? It's the guy in the mirror that,
Mm-hmm.
and also most all of my solutions will also come from the same thing. I'm I'm my own worst enemy, and I'm also the one that's going to fix things in my life. So I'll own it.
That's one way of looking at it. We also know there are structural problems, right?
Sure.
Right. How much do you own it when it is structural? It is a balance of our own. So I do tell my students this, even if it is not your fault, own it
Hmm.
so you can work it out of it.
Well, I guess I feel that way because when I don't own it, or when I try to blame it on, if those people did it to me, or this thing did it to me, or this situation did it to me, I don't like the feeling of helplessness.
Right.
I like the feeling of I'm in control of this ship. I'm in control of where my life takes me. I make intentional
Mm-hmm.
decisions, and if I decide today to change the course of my life, and I can,
You
I
have the greatest power over you. You can take it out.
exactly that's what I see when I see responsibility.
That's right.
So.
That's right.
So just to cover them real quick: empathy, critical thinking, ethical development, peace, social justice, service, participation, altruism, humility, environmentalism, global awareness, responsibility. Yeah. You
And
know
if you
what?
go to that website, American Humanist Association, this is a PDF. They want you to have it.
Sure, sure.
Yeah.
You know what I don't see in here? Um, I don't see dogma,
Mm-hmm.
right? I don't see a deity. We don't owe this to anybody else,
But to ourselves,
but to
because we
ourselves.
get so much,
Right.
but to ourselves, yeah.
This is essentially just a way of thinking that's saying stand up and take responsibility for your actions, for your thoughts, for your personality, for your interactions with others.
Mm-hmm.
It's essentially a call to action more so than any sort of a reverence to anything else.
That's right. That's right.
And I don't also what I don't see is a lot of barriers to entry. I'll tell you what I mean. Can someone be could a person be a liberal and be a humanist?
Easily.
A conservative and be a humanist?
Easily.
An atheist and be a humanist?
Easily.
A believer in a religion
Whatever.
and be a humanist?
Absolutely.
Okay, so because I'm a humanist, that doesn't mean that I can't be religious. It doesn't mean
Mm-mm.
I can't be a Christian, um, Hindu, uh,
Whatever.
Buddhist, Catholic, any of those
Muslim.
things, Muslim, any of those. It's just caring about your fellow human being,
That's it.
being
That's
a
it.
good
And I
human.
think all religions promote that, except they do it with some caveats, right? If you don't do it this way, hell, heaven, you got to believe hell, heaven.
Mhm.
All those things are there. And I think they're still aiming for this.
Right, right.
And they're saying this is the way and this is the only way to arrive at it. And humanists probably would say, no,
Sure, sure.
you can do all of that.
We can set all that aside and let's just focus on
Still do this,
let's
yes.
just be good, but we don't need divine supervision.
That's right.
If you prefer, you can keep a sense of divinity, fantastic.
Honor the tree.
Whatever you like,
Yeah.
But in the midst of all that, let's just focus on being a good human.
Yes. So I want to add on, these are commitments, right?
Mhm.
Then who are you as a human? So that's my little urban monk book.
Okay.
Then who are you as a human? And I have done this to my students.
Okay.
Like before I get the class going, this is how I'm going to peg you. That you're human, that you're beautiful, that you're brilliant, because you can sort things out, and you belong. You belong to me, you belong to this earth. You don't need anything because you exist, you belong.
Mhm.
Those are my 3 Bs. We can do another whole podcast on it.
Mhm.
And then I
Be
say,
belong, beautiful. What's the other
and
B?
brilliant.
Okay.
And I call this my hormones, FGH. Spend time on gratitude, like spend energy on being thankful.
Mm.
It is a habit, because the opposite of it is to complain. And we can complain. If you want to complain, you can complain. There's no end.
Yeah.
But if you want to be in gratitude, it also has no end. Like I joke about glass half empty, half full.
Mhm.
I'm like, I'm glad I have a glass. And then not alone that I have a glass, I know where to go get my blessings. I know whom I need to pour some so they have some water.
Mm.
This is way past half full, half empty.
Sure.
So gratitude is so powerful if you stay in it.
It's easy on the easy days.
He's definitely, absolutely.
It's definitely more challenging on the
But
on the hard
habit,
days.
if you practice on it,
Mhm.
just practice. Like every day in the night, the children will still tell me, like, what are you thankful for today? Not just like, oh, for you, dad, is not enough. What is it that very, very specific as you can? Thanksgiving is coming up.
Mhm.
One of the assignments for my kids is like write down 100 things, not just what you're thankful for, but why.
Mm.
And they come up with stuff and you can see them like, oh my God, they've shifted.
Mm.
Just practicing gratitude. And then I think every human story is about hope. Every movie, everything, if you put it all together, 98% of the stories are about hope,
Mm.
that we figuring it out. So gratitude and hope, I call them batteries, human batteries, left leg, right leg batteries.
Okay.
And then I also think, like I said, I believe it's innate to learn and to teach. I think that given our epigenetics, there is a piece of us that wants atonement. So to spend some time on forgiveness. And we talked about like, okay, I'm responsible. Stockholm syndrome will tell you, and then the story gets convoluted. Like people have been violated. They somewhere in there think maybe it's because of them,
Mhm.
when it's an external event, and we don't like illogical stories. But there is something about atonement. I think success of religion is because they spend time on atonement. Like you feeling bad, I got it. You have forgiveness.
Mm.
But if you spend time on forgiveness, forgiving yourself,
Yeah.
whatever it is, even if it is not true, forgive you. And then think about forgiving all the other things. You know, Jesus said it, right? He said, forgive those, for they know not.
What they do.
And then in Alabama, we say, they don't know no better,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
But I say, same thing, that all of us are doing the best we know how at all times, given the resources available to us at that time.
Yeah.
So when I do empathy and some of these things, it's even if it is difficult, I can see where they're struggling as opposed to where they're being an asshole.
Right.
And so I think forgiveness is a thing that we need to develop.
Well, and it comes up in just little bitty ways. I mentioned traffic earlier. You're not in traffic, you are traffic.
You are the love it. I
But
just love it.
when you talk about forgiveness, I've been before driving along and having a just a perfectly normal day,
Mhm.
and then somebody flies by me and almost cuts me off, and used to I would get very mad, a little bit of road rage, that kind of thing. And nowadays I found myself going, "Oh, they woke up a little bit late," or
I wasn't expecting you. They woke up a little late. I
yeah.
used to say they're rushing to the restroom.
Right. It could be anything. Oh, somebody just found out their girlfriend was cheating.
Woo!
Okay. But I try to look for the reason, like, why would that person be? They obviously had no clue that I was sitting here. It's
That's
not,
right.
it's not a personal affront to me. That person is preoccupied with some drama right
That's
now
right.
in their life, and they're behaving that way. And possibly if I had the similar drama, I might be doing that.
You're the one.
Yeah.
Yes.
So some days you're the windshield, some days you're the bug. So today he feels like the bug and
Right.
he's trying to make
Right,
up for
right,
it.
right.
So, but I give that person a little bit of grace and just say, look, they're gonna get there, they're gonna work it out. They don't drive like that every day, hopefully.
That's right. Nobody does.
Right.
And nobody does. And that connecting with the eyes. There's a story that the teacher comes into the village and they beat him up because he was saying weird things, and then they kill him. And the old wise man will come in and will ask, "Did anybody look at his eyes?"
Hmm.
And they're like, right? So something with this empathy and developing yourself, forgiving you, staying in gratitude and hope.
Hmm.
My email often ends either way you die. So make the best out of it.
That's right. That's right.
Enjoy the ride. And yeah, it could be a bad road. You can sit there and complain and die.
Yeah.
Southwest made a little joke once when I was traveling. You can sit there, huff and puff and be scared. You'll arrive at 7:13, or you can sit back, relax, and read a book or something. You'll still arrive at 7:13.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
Either way, it goes away. So I think owning little things makes humanity humans.
Right.
That we end, it comes. There is a place where you can choose to be. Personal responsibility, the gratitude and hope,
Mm-hmm.
and pegging ourselves in beauty and belonging.
Yeah.
I've got so many belonging stories that I've done that people go like, "Why you?" And I often say, "Are you giving me permission?"
Mm.
And I'm like, "I don't need your permission.
Right.
I can love, care, mind. There is a need. I'm going to attend to it. I don't need anybody's permission."
Right.
It's evolved over time. My strength has gotten better
Yeah.
to being the humanist that I am.
Right. Well, the interesting thing that I've learned about it, and I've been hanging out with you guys now for I don't know a year or more,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
I didn't know much about humanism before. I thought it was another religion, that there was some rituals or something like that. And it's not. It's just people wanting to be the best people that they
That's
can
right.
be.
That's beautiful. That is
And
beautiful. We talked about rituals a bunch of times though, because people with rituals seem to live longer.
mm, okay,
So maybe we need rituals. So we still imagine in the end when we gather, by John Lennon, we sing that in the end,
yeah.
and that's the closest to a ritual. I try to tell a joke, and it's never worked, but
I think in the end, if we take some of the mystery away from it
right,
and just talk to people about it and say, look, humanism is just wanting to be the best you that you can be,
that's not best human.
and interacting in the best way with your fellow man, with your environment, with the rest of the population. It's wanting to be the best you in every aspect that you can be. Your empathy and your compassion, your critical thinking, your ethical development, your service and participation, your altruism, your global awareness, your responsibility for your own actions. Every one of these things is something that I can get on board with.
You can get on, but I think most people already do it.
Right. They just ascribe it to something else,
That's right.
possibly,
Right.
or they do it for some other motivation. I think there's motivation enough
Just doing it
right
is
there
right. That's it. You said it.
for the sake of being your best.
You said it beautifully.
Okay.
Sake of being the best.
Right. Well, good. Well, hopefully that takes some of the mystery out of it.
I hope so too.
And will you come in the next time that I have some questions about things?
Absolutely. And we should do the 3Bs and
Let's do it. Okay.
yeah.
I love the dance, the beat, the 3Bs, all of these things that you use in class. I'd love for you to come in and break some of them down and
Yes.
yeah, because I think they're all valuable. So
Peace.
peace.